Morning all, Simon Brown here. We're looking at our Wednesday using the website today, looking at Auto Share Invest ASI. It sits within part of the Standard Bank internet platform. I'm going to go through the process of how it works, restrictions, etc. Key point, a couple of the first is ASI, as I will refer to it, Auto Share Invest is its name. It sits within Standard Bank internet banking, so it's separate from the online share trading. You can have one or the other, but this certainly, particularly for people who want less of the bells and whistles, or perhaps just want a simple tax-free account, the AutoShare Invest, and it offers a tax-free investing option as well. It fits really, really well. The online share trading has got the bells and whistles, events such as this, research, live prices, all of that fun and games. AutoShare Invest sort of sits below that for the people who just they want to buy some stuff, but they don't want all those bells and whistles necessarily. And that's up to you as an individual. I run both. I'll come to why in a moment. Cost per transaction is 0.15% plus taxes and fees. No minimum on that in the sense there's a minimum trade size. I'll get to that in a bit. There is an admin fee. At online share trading, you're paying plus 100 in VAT. This is 0.001 of portfolio value plus VAT, and it is being billed monthly. So there is an admin fee, and it is dependent on the sense of what is the value of the portfolio. The list of shares is restricted to sort of larger stocks. You're not going to find those tiny penny stocks, but it does include the ETFs and particularly obviously the tax-free ETFs, and there is a minimum trade size. And if I go to, so I've logged into mine, and there is my AutoShare Invest. So I've logged into internet banking. You can see I've got two ETFs in there. So I used to buy the Signia World, and then when the Ashburton 1200 came along, I pivoted into that one. I do monthly debits, although I often do it. There's some T's and C's around when I say I do monthly debits. Sometimes I'm running them in my OST account or even my tax-free account. I don't use this tax-free in internet banking. I use the standard online share trading one. So that's just a snapshot of my portfolio. It will be a 15-minute delayed price. You can see the recent orders, none scheduled, those that are completed, those that are pending, and those that are failed. You can buy, and we'll come to that in a second. Transactions and statements. So these are just the statements of the fees going off. You can see my safe custody fee and VAT for the month of April billed in arrears. There are no current announcements. And then, of course, just account management. You can migrate a ASI account to online share trading, and you can, of course, go the other way. You can close the account at the same time, and you can go and see the T's and C's, etc., that you're managing. In terms of buy shares, so as I said, the list is not complete. Now, there's two ways that we can search for the share. For example, we could search standard, and there would come Standard Bank. We could inversely, we could just search the code, which is SBK. And we would get to the same ultimate place either way. If we click on that, it takes us to the Google Finance page for that particular share, which gives it gives some information. It's not as comprehensive as you would find within the online share trading, but it does give you a bit of information in terms of what is happening, how it looks, etc. The share I buy in this space is my Ashburton 1200. So AshGEQ, as I said, I could have just typed Ashburton, and that then would have listed all of the various Ashburtons that are available for purchase. Click the buy button. Now you're going to tell me immediately, it's going to say, well, hang on a sec, there's an indicative price. I already hold some of these units, 3,596 in total, and I can see that my current account balance is R2.79. Now, how that works is typically you don't say buy me the ETF or the share at a certain price. You say buy me a Rand value. You can do a one-off purchase, which is what I would do, and I'll go show you that in a moment. Or you could schedule a purchase. Schedule a purchase is a case of set the amount, the day of the month that you wish to do the purchase, how long you wish that purchase to work for. They will use any available funds in your bank account. in this case from my current account, failing which what they'll do on option 2. So they will, if you've got money sitting in the tax-free, in the ASI, failing which they'll take it out of your bank account. And that you set and you let it to run. Here, it's a case of, well, I want to go buy some, I'm going to do it. What in essence is an immediate trade. So fund my investment account. I'm going to say, please bring me 10,000. Have I got enough zeros? Statement. Cool. So there's my statement reference. That will be ASI SGEQ for an amount of 10,000. I hit next. I confirm. They're going to send me an SMS. I hope this arrives quickly because we are doing live here. It is coming. I'm seeing some questions come through. Let me hit some of those questions while we wait on the SMS. Can you use this if you're not a Standard Bank client? No. What we're looking at here is internet banking within Standard Bank. So you need to be a Standard Bank. I mean, you could start banking with Standard Bank, and this option would be available to you. As I said, there is that admin fee. But in essence, what we're looking at here more than anything, 10435. 10435. This is for clients who have a Standard Bank current account, whatever the case may be, and then this works well for them. There's my confirmation. The monies has gone through. Cool. Don't need that. So now you will see that should have gone. No, it hasn't increased the value there. I'm still sitting at 279. So let me cancel that for now, and let me go back to my portfolio while we wait for it to refresh through. I think I might have hit a wrong button. I can also withdraw funds. So obviously I can click. In this case, my cash balance is £2.79, not a heck lot of them. I can also request to sell. So I could request a sale of the unit. So you've got that transaction ability. What ASI used to be was it transacted on one day. It used to sell weekly on Fridays, and then it would purchase monthly at the end of the month. But you can now do those sales on any day of the month that the market is open. Ditto, you can do those purchases on any day of the month that the market is open. So you've got two options. You can do a buy now, or if you prefer, you can say, hang on, no, I would rather actually just keep it simple, and I would rather have it at a scheduled time and period. And for some reason, that money is not coming through. I don't know why. The cash should be coming. Let's try again to buy more. There it is. Cash has arrived. So you can now see I've got just over 10,000 sitting in the AutoShare Invest account. Here's what's important. What I'm doing is they are saying to me, so I own 3,596 of these ETFs, and the indicative price is 54.07. What do they mean by indicative? Well, it's not the price that the transaction will necessarily occur at, because this is not a live price. If we were to go here, I can see that I'm actually, at this point, I would pay 54.96 if it traded at that point. That is the current price that we are sitting in the market at, and that is the price, therefore, that I would be trading at. That's not where I want to go. I want to go back to that. What you do is you don't say the quantity or you don't specify a quantity that you wish to trade or a share price. You're going to get the price in the market. You specify the rand value. So I'm going to do 10,000. In other words, I'm going to pretty much take the entire amount in there, and I'm going to say, go for it. Minimum of 250. I said 500 earlier, my error. So I'm going to do a 10,000 ZAR transaction. And we don't know how many ETFs it's going to be. We can run the numbers, but the system will work out, okay, 10 grand, what are the costs? What is the offer in the market? And can we transact it? There it sits up just to confirm what you're looking to do. Purchase details, 10,000, date is today. So this is not a recurring. This is a one-off transaction. I hit confirm, and there it has confirmed that the order has gone in and will be processed, and I will get confirmation at the time. Indicative price 54.07, but we are sitting at 54.96, and the 54.07 was a trade at 9 o'clock this morning, pretty much someone buying at open in this morning. Now, what we're also not going to find is this doesn't go through immediately. And we can sit here and we can watch and see how but this isn't an instant transaction. It's being processed. If you want that level of instantaneous control, that is really where the online share trading comes into it. As I said up front, this is really for someone who's just looking to buy some shares on a fairly regular basis or have a tax-free account, and they already have an internet banking, Standard Bank internet banking, and therefore it's an easy process across. The question is coming, are we able to transfer from online share trading into Auto Share Invest? Absolutely, you can. You would need to contact online share trading. You would need to activate the Auto Share Invest within internet banking, and then you could move shares from online share trading into Auto Share Invest, or inversely, you can go the other way. If you've got a portfolio that's sitting within Auto Share Invest, you can request to move those shares across to your online share trading. It's all ultimately SPG Securities running it in the background for us. So we can move shares in between. I have an ASI. What I liked about it, and the new functionality came in, I'm thinking it was maybe a year and a half or so ago, where we had a lot more functionality in terms of when we would transact, etc., the date of the month and that sort of thing, and the amount and the flexibility to truthfully transact on any day of the week if we so wanted, or any day of the month if we particularly so wanted, and that increased flexibility really attracted me to it. Just for my And that, I imagine, is my transaction going through 126.5502. Does that look right? 55.02 times 126. Nope, that's not me. That's only 7,000. So that's not me yet going through. So they serve different purposes. And you can have both or one or the other, and that really is up to you as an individual as to which serves your purpose better. I've got some friends who had the whole OST, and for them the bells and whistles were not of any particular use to them, so they were like, okay, nice, but not necessarily huge. So there is the order. So they're going to buy me 181, not yet gone through. It is a buy. Quantity matched so far is 0. Some questions. Ooh, good question. Can you open multiple accounts in your kid's name? I'm going to give you an honest answer. I don't know. Drop an email to securities@standardbank.co.za. I think not. And here's why I think not. Because you've got an internet banking account and it's in your name and your FICA. And I don't know that you can do it for your kids. But inquire. I mean, as I say, I think not, but I'm not convinced about that. So securities@standardbank.co.za. Yeah, so if I'm an existing SB account and home loan account holder through online internet banking, how do I apply for that? So when you log on, and I don't want to because then all my details pop up, etc. You've got your home, you've got your transact, it sits under save and invest. It's the invest option you can do. And the beauty is that Standard Bank obviously already has your FICA documents, Kenneth. So you don't need to re-FICA, etc. So you literally log on to internet banking, click the save and invest. You've got the Auto Share Invest, which is just normal buying shares and ETFs. And then, of course, the tax-free investing, which is limited to about 72 ETFs you can buy and limited to 36,000 per year per tax year that you can put in per individual. Luzani, great question. Is ASI available for the R5 per month Standard Bank account? If you have internet banking, you have access to it. There obviously is the admin fee, but as long as you're on the internet banking platform, you're there. And then EJ, you're coming. Full depth of bid and ask prices as advertised for free on Viewpoint. Let me quickly, EJ, come to yours. So at the moment, Viewpoint, so the full depth is level 5. And as I understand, they're doing, and let me go and confirm. I need to, sorry, I'm switching browsers like a crazy person, and it's not always the most efficient way to do it. I think they're only giving you level 4 at this point in time, or the option 4, which is which they call level 1. Free live pricing viewpoint. Which are they doing? Yeah, so EJ, they're giving you only level 1 pricing package, which only gives you that top line. So if we go back to that, and I'm pretty sure when I spoke last week, I said it was the whole level 5. It's not. So you see, you've got the 3 levels here. I'm on level 5, which costs me the 195, and that gives me market depth the whole way. The current free ones are the basic is always free, which 15-minute delayed until the end of May, the level 1, but that's only giving you the top buy and sell. It doesn't give you the whole way down. And I think I did misspeak when it was last week, if I recall correctly, when we were doing this. Luzani, does the scheduled transaction fetch the funds from your bank account, or must you transfer? No, it will fetch the money. So what I did was a bespoke transaction for today. So it goes through. I have to transfer the money, unless I had money in ASI already. To your point, you are correct. On the scheduled, it will fetch the money from your bank account. And it's pretty much, and if you know the internet banking, you'll understand how it works. What it's essentially doing, it's a future dated transaction. Standard Bank would take the money out. Typically, my memory was very early morning, like, after midnight, but long before the sun is up and the birds are up, and they take that money out. If the money is not there, then obviously it is a failed transaction. But they will grab the money. To that, they will add any cash that's currently available and transact it. Timothy, no. So how do you place a stop loss on Viewpoint? At this point on Viewpoint, you're unable to place a stop loss. I can at the moment, because I've got their beta version. At this point, the stop loss is placed on the online share trading website, not on the platform. Let's see if my order has gone through. In fact, there's an easier way to cheat. Let me just go to Viewpoint. And that was me, the 181 traded at 55 ZAR about 3.5 minutes ago. Someone is now asking if they can have a look-see at conditional orders. I'll show it to you. The conditional orders, you won't have it, of course, at this point. And I'm going completely off topic here, but we've shown how. So what you'll see is I've got contingency strategies where you can say certain, so I want to, certain conditions are met, then the transaction will happen. And object of those conditions, nothing's going to happen. And then down here, I've got protect against losses. So I can do stop losses, trailing or fixed. What I've also do is protect profit. So I can say, so you can basically put a conditional order, say if this happens, enter my trade, here's my stop loss, here's my profit target, and wait for it to all happen. There's some mechanics in it, different trade engines, etc. But this is a beta test that I'm busy running. I don't know the ETA for rolling it out for everybody else. So that transaction has now confirmed, has now happened. You'll see on my orders completed. There it sits. We got 181 of them at 55.15, and you can see other transactions that have gone through. Obviously, the price has run a fair bit since the previous, and that's because this particular ETF. Someone's saying, why this ETF? So I like the idea of one ETF to rule them all, and I want it to be a diverse global offshore. You could get an S&P 500, you could get an MSCI, which is what I have, the Signia product. It's a Satrix one as well. There's a couple on the S&P 500. Someone's saying, what about the One Invest S&P Tech? You could. That's obviously more niche, but certainly it's giving you a lot of America, but a fair bunch of global as well. I like the Ashburton 1200. It includes some emerging market. There's the core shares GlowDev at the same time as well. Cash balance left in the account, a modest 20 Rand and 5 cents, slightly up on what it was previously. And what obviously happened there is I said buy 10,000, but at 55 ZAR, it's, well, what is that rounding error going to be? And hence we get through and we ended up getting a little under 10,000 ZAR. So the commodity, I'll quickly roll there. I don't know if it is part of this. So there's two ways we can get exposure to oil via the JSE. The one is the SBA oil, which is a West Texas Intermediate contract. It's an ETN, so you can buy it via well, you can get it through Auto Share Invest, you can get it through online share trading, you cannot buy it in a tax-free account. And then there are also JSE futures contracts on oil. In that particular case, Yolandi, it is focusing on the Brent oil. So there are distinctions to them. This Standard Bank Oil ETN, I'm going to be chatting to Johan Erasmus from One Invest on my podcast, my show tomorrow morning, 6:30 live at moneyweb.co.za. Or if you want to catch the podcast, it will be available after 7 a.m. Just to get a sense of what goes into it. Because, for example, this is West Texas Intermediate, but it didn't go negative because that was the near-dated contract, etc. So I'm going to be chatting with Johan Erasmus from Standard Bank and One Invest around that. Ladies and gents, we will park that there. I'm not seeing any further questions coming through. Short and sweet. Yolandi, my pleasure. This Friday, 10:30, we're doing ETFs. I'm going to be looking at healthcare ETFs. I've been getting a lot of requests for health ETFs. There are none listed in South Africa, so we will be going offshore to New York and the like to go and find some health ETFs. That will be Friday, 10:30. And if there's anything particular that you want me to focus on the ETF space, drop me a mail, or on the Wednesday when I'm looking at the website and the different platforms, drop me a mail, simon@justonelap.com, and I'm more than happy. We're going to be doing this forever and a day. What are we in? We're in about 6 weeks in, but my week in hospital and all the public holidays has created some havoc, but there are no more public holidays for at least 5 or 6 weeks. Yes, they do. Kenneth is saying, do you issue separate monthly statements and tax certificates for Auto Share Invest? Yes, you do. It is, I mean, from a practical perspective, you'll notice there I've got an account number which is different to my Auto Share Invest account number. So whilst it is in your legal name, it is a different entity within within Kenneth. So it gets its own tax certificates, it gets its own monthly statements, and your year-end tax certificates, etc. So it's all yours in terms of SARS submission, in terms of your single SARS submission, but they reflected separately. Cool, ladies and gents, we'll park it there. Everyone have a great Wednesday further. And simon@justonelap.com. If there's anything particular in the ETF space you'd like me to look at, anything particular in the platform space you'd like me to look at, more than happy. We've got stacks to do. Cheers all. Have a great day.